Traveling can be both exhilarating and stressful all in the same moment. Whether you're traveling for work or simply for fun, there are many factors that play into the enjoyment level you may feel while you're working your way to your final destination. We completely understand, and that's why we have decided to try to help you reduce some of that stress so that you can enjoy your trips better. There were so many amazing travel tips that our experts came up with, we had to do more than one video. So, in this video, we're going to start with the first 20 insane travel tips that should help you not only reduce that stress, but save a little money too. Number 1. Take your time boarding. The last thing you want to do is sit on a plane for long hours, especially if you already have a long-haul flight. Most people, when they hear their boarding group, automatically jump into line and start the process of boarding. But that might be a bad idea. If you wait a little while, not only will the boarding area be less cramped, but the process of actually boarding will be quicker because you won't be standing in that line. Number 2. Hold on to that boarding pass. Most of us, the minute we get off the plane or when we get to our hotel, begin clearing out all that excess trash that we have accrued on our long trip. One of those pieces that often finds its way into the garbage can is the boarding pass. However, it's not suggested that you actually do this. Make sure you keep it handy because it has access to sensitive info if the individual understands how to read the ID code on top of the boarding passes. If you are going to throw it away, make sure to tear it up into little bits so there is no chance anyone can get a hold of that sensitive info. Number 3. Keep things close at hand. No matter how long your flight is, there's always something that you need during your flight, whether that be a good book to read, your headphones, or just some hand sanitizer. The last thing you want to do is have to stand up and get into that overhead bin to find them. So, one of the best travel tips is to ensure that everything that you're going to need during your flight is in your carry-on or on your person so that you don't have to rummage around in that overhead bin. Number 4. Don't assume anything. It used to be that on certain flights, it was guaranteed that the food and drinks would be for free. But as travel has changed over the past decade or so, many of the airlines, in order to pad their bottom lines, have begun changing those things. So, it's best if you make sure that you don't assume that the food and drinks are free. That means you may want to pick up snacks and drinks before you get on the airplane. Because, quite frankly, some of the prices for the food and drinks on the plane could end up costing you an arm and a leg. Number 5. The air is dry up there. The air in the cabin of an airplane is very dry. You may want to take this into consideration when thinking about wearing makeup or if you wear contact lenses. The dry air can dehydrate your eyes and irritate them. So, it's best if when you're flying, you utilize your glasses instead of contact lenses, as no one wants to get to the end and wind up with itchy red eyes and not be able to enjoy their destination. Also, for the ladies out there that like to wear makeup, the dry air can potentially cause breakouts. So, we highly suggest you remove the makeup and make sure to apply moisturizer so that you get to your destination fresh-faced and ready to get your day started. Number 6. Charge it. Sure, there are charging ports all over the airport. Most airlines even have them on the airplanes, but they don't always use the USB-C cables that are so prominent nowadays. So, if you're looking to ensure that you have your phones powered up and the rest of your electronic devices ready to go, you may want to charge it before even getting to the airport. Having full battery will allow you to have access to all your documents and entertainment, and that's always a good thing. Number 7. Make sure you're entertained. Speaking of electronic devices and making sure everything is charged, no matter how long your flight is, you will want to keep yourself entertained. One of the best ways to do that is to enjoy a good movie, podcast, or listen to some of your favorite music. Most of the streaming services will allow you to download content to be used offline. So, do this before you get to the airport so that you have better downloading speeds and are ensured that you have enough entertainment for your entire journey. Number 8. No turbulence? There are a lot of reasons people have fears of flying, but maybe one of the most prominent ones is turbulence. Turbulence can be very unsettling when you're in the air. So, if you're someone who has a problem with that, we have a great tip for you. Try to book a seat in the middle of the plane. These seats tend to be more stable and feel vibrations of turbulence less. Choosing a middle section will allow you to enjoy your flight more. Number 9. Less turbulence. The next tip also has to do with turbulence. If you're someone who has a huge problem with turbulence and it makes you super anxious, we highly suggest you either choose an early morning or late evening flight. It tends to be that weather patterns during this time are less extreme, and this typically means less turbulence. Number 10. Where to sit. There are many people that travel quite frequently and are always on the hunt for that perfect seat. But the perfect seat really depends on you. If you're wanting to get off early, then selecting a seat in the front of the plane is always a great idea. However, if you want better service, making sure you choose one in the back near the flight attendant stations is a better deal. If you want more info on seating, then you might also check out sites like Seat Guru. This site has info on the seating of almost all airlines, and this might help you find the perfect seat for you. Number 11. A row all to yourself. For those of you that aren't traveling alone, we have a great tip. This tip may not work all the time, but it does have a good percentage of success. If you're traveling with a partner, when you book your seats, book one seat as a window seat and one seat as an aisle seat. Most people don't want to sit in between two people, and this means that the seat is less likely to be chosen and you could potentially have a whole row to yourself. Number 12. Early morning flights. We certainly hope you've never experienced this, but if you are a frequent flyer or someone who travels for work, it's inevitable that you will. Delays and things happen. So, if you're looking to get to a destination on a specific time, you may want to book flights in the early morning. This ensures that if something goes wrong and there is a delay, you're more likely to be able to find a place on another flight. Number 13. Travel light. Travel can be expensive. One of the biggest costs come when you're checking baggage with your carrier. So, if you're looking to travel on a budget and travel in a quicker fashion, it's always better if you travel light. There are many budget airlines that charge you for even a carry-on. So, if possible, packing a personal item with everything you need may be the best way to go. Not only will you get on the plane quicker and off the plane quicker, but you save a little cash too. Number 14. Special meals. For those that choose to order meals on their flight, if you're looking to get served quicker, the better option would be to order a special meal. When you go on the website or apps, most airlines have multiple different types of specialty meals. Everything from vegan to halal will be available. By choosing one of these, you will be served first. Number 15. Check in online, download documents. The next tip is one of the most important tips you'll hear. First, you need to make sure you check in online. This will ensure that if you're not purchasing a seat or picking a seat, that you'll get a good one. Once you've checked in though, you need to make sure you download all your documents onto your phone. When you're traveling, there's always need for documents, especially if you're traveling internationally. Having them on hand in your digital device makes it much easier to get through not only security, but any other document checkpoints that you may have to get through. Number 16. Make sure to download airline apps. Speaking of downloading things, almost every airline has an app. You should download it because it will give you more information on not only the gates and departure times, but tons of other features that the airlines has available to you. Oftentimes, there's even stores where you can go ahead and purchase things so that when you get on the airplane, you don't have to rush to use your Wi-Fi before they ask you to put that smart device in the airplane mode. Number 17. Credit card perks. For those travelers out there that have credit cards, you may want to dive deep into the perks that the credit card brings with you. There are many credit cards that will help you earn miles, give you access to airport lounges, and a plethora of other perks that could make your stay at the airport as well as your flight that much better. We have a whole video on travel cards, so be sure to check that out. Number 18. Use flight apps. For those just starting to plan their travels, it might be very frustrating to try to figure out when to purchase the tickets. After all, airline fees ebb and flow all the time. But there are some apps that you can utilize that will allow you to set up alerts for when prices drop. Apps like Hopper and Skyscanner are all very user-friendly and allow you to ensure that you're getting the best bang for your buck when you're planning that trip. We have more info on that too, so check the link in the description for that video. Number 19. Don't forget that empty bottle. We're sure many of you already know this tip, but we want to make sure everyone knows it. You can't carry a bottle of water through security, but you can carry an empty bottle. So make sure that you have one on hand so that when you get through security, you can fill it up at one of the many water fountains throughout the airport. After all, who wants to pay $4 for a bottle of water when you can get it for free? That's it for today's upload. If you like this video, be sure to check out our next one in this series. We'll see you there.